I'm curious to see Clay play this Julian. I don't think I've ever seen Clay play that kind of hero. I think that Julian has really high mechanics, to be honest. I mean, he's used to the heroes like the Eve, the Lilia, the Sicilian perhaps. So we'll see how this works, especially understanding, like Naisu keeps mentioning over and time again, that this might not work in that mid side.
Yep, well, we'll see how it works right now, because this is going to be the game one. The draft has been spent, especially from RRQ Hoshi, going up against EVOS SG with their triple tank composition. Is it going to be the obstacle? Can they pummel their way through against the Kings of Kings, or will they crumble? Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be game one between RRQ Hoshi versus EVOS SG for the MSC playoffs day number 1.
Triple tank lineup. I like to call it the meatball show because, man, they are going to be tanky up front. They have a lot of tools in their kit too. And like you mentioned, you know, having a Lancelot there, it's going to take you a little while to be able to penetrate through that defense. And honestly, every time we've seen an Atlas alone, that's quite a bit. Now you throw in a Grok on top of that. Mind you, running the Assassin Emblem, so it's going to hurt. Wow, early play already.
Yeah, already that hook coming onto JPL, but luckily he is just a tank. He does have a little bit pressure onto the side of EVO Singapore, and Albert was not able to get that lethal Wanderer, actually.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of distraction as well, considering that Win has does this. But at the same time, RRQ, they're pulling out the strategies again. They did this towards Impunity KH before. And, sorry, they did it against Smart Omega, but at the same time, R7 going to be stealing the jungle away.
I like this. I'm going to go back on the point, right? You have Nick running that high and dry. And when we usually see this, with the way that Grok works now and just the damage and the stun potential it has, it's going to be something they really have to watch out for. There's so much CC on the side alone for EVO Singapore.
Uh-oh, but Sayla gets caught in a weird situation. So much damage has been placed onto him, but unluckily, Vin was unable to get that Iron Hook onto the buff like he intended. JPL now is going to be the brunt of it all. Will be first blood here into the hands of RRQ Hoshi, showing their early game aggression.
Oh, this is so smart from RRQ. They understand the timings of their early aggression, because EVOS SG, this tanky composition kind of comes up online towards the mid to late stage of the game, and they're taking advantage of the situation. Yeah, you're tanky, we can still kill you in the early games, and look at how annoying Vin is with his hooks. He's just forcing EVOS SG to react to every single movement instead of focusing on the objectives, and hopefully they are going to be able to respond, but RRQ Hoshi, with so much distraction, they are 1k in the lead as of yet.
Oh my god, that hook connects onto the buff. That is going to be a lot of time wasted here for the side of EVO Singapore, as it is going to be EVO Singapore though looking for a trade-off onto Clay. Albert gets one back, but Vin gets caught as well. But the Albert, he will be able to get that jungle, but unfortunately a double kill has been secured by the side of EVO Singapore. Now, was this worth it?
Oh my goodness, that was huge coming from EVOS SG, but yes, I agree. RQ, they made a little bit of blunder. They got a little bit over-aggressive with the plays. They should have played towards their strength, which is taking advantage of the positions of what Franco can do to the enemy. And with that hook right there, EVOS SG was in prime position, but instead, they redeemed themselves. Vin gets a very, very nice catch on those Adamir, and because of that, that's going to be the marksman down from the side of EVOS SG, and not going to be traded off as well.
Nice pickup there. I mean, all around, you got to say it's obviously pretty even right now. But I think, you know, at the time, RRQ has to be careful because they don't want to underestimate the damage that Nick can pump out here. We saw it. He's got 2 kills now, so he's off to a good start. Also, with that turtle coming up in about a minute, they're going to have enough time here to just continue to farm up. And then you're talking about all that CC once again coming into the turtle. Let's check out the emblems.
Yeah, I'm a little bit interested as well, curious about Nyx's decision. I was expecting maybe a Weapon Master try to jack up those Blade of Despair's attack power to build on his defense, right? Even the recent patch, they have kind of nerfed on it. I like how he used the high and dry to use on the penetration instead of building up attacks to build on his defense. So it's going to deal a little bit more damage compared to the Weapon Master to be tanky. So I like this adaptation. Hopefully it's going to work out, because as of now, he's got 2-on-1. I'd say it's pretty good. It's working out after all, but as of now, there's going to be engagement.
Yeah, the Iron Hook connects onto Guy here, but let's see what GPL has to say about it. The Fatal Links connects onto Vin alone, but unfortunately, he is going to be the one to fall. Sayla Gear forced to retreat. They are super low as of right now. Let's see what Albert can say. It is going to be Adamir here in the brunt of it all, taking so much damage. A 1-for-1 trade here, roamer for roamer.
Yeah, not super big yet, but you can see EVOS SG, they're starting to be very, very scared. They know RRQ is just going so much ham onto EVOS SG, and this is actually good for RRQ, because the fights that they're taking, it's just making so much space to allow Lemon to get free farm all the way up top. And because of this, EVOS SG just cannot find a way to stop Lemon at all. Because eventually, if this goes on, Lemon is going to get all his power spikes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing, right? Once again, about Irithyll, you saw him just, Lemon came down, he used the sprint, he just joined the fight, popped out the damage, and, you know, he's only got one item, right? There's not much there yet. But, yes, the way that Irithyll works, and also against this tanky lineup, it works really well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He needs a couple more items to actually happen as well. But as of yet, the fight is about to break down. Clay is going to get caught out. A big chain to disengage. And that is going to be RRQ coming on top. But it's not over yet. Albert, he wants more.
Yeah, he does want more. Sayla is going to be the one to fall here, as it is going to be Albert picking up a kill.
Oh, huge outplays as well. The hook, too close for EVOS SG.
You know, I'm wondering here too, if you're R7, right, and you're spending most of your time in the side lane, who do you target here as much as possible for EVOS SG? Because I don't feel like Adamir is really going to be easy to get to. There's so much of it's literally a bodyguard composition for him, and then you always have Sayla there to back him up with all the CC.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just so difficult to do so, and you can see EVOS SG, they're making sure that Adamir has a comfortable spot, and because of this, RRQ Hoshi, they're forced to adapt. However, the fight here coming in.
Yeah, let's see what he can do, because it is going to be Gear here taken down first. It doesn't seem like EVO Singapore want to engage on this, understanding that they are one man down.
So you notice what RRQ is doing, right? This is the true showing of how much experience these guys have. They're happy with those 1 kills. They don't really have to commit anything else. I've seen them do this in the group stages too, right? And they're going to slowly build that lead they have and getting these advantages, especially in the objectives coming up. I mean, we have another turtle coming up in about 10 seconds. They're even just setting up in the right position here. EVOS SG going to sniff this one out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. As of yet, wins is just a big trend towards EVOS SG's the composition, right? Arguably, you have JPL to actually set up for the team, but the damage, where's the damage cover? They've got 3 really tanky heroes. I feel like they need to buy time for Sayla to actually come online, and it's going to take a little bit too long, but seems like EVOS SG, they will take advantage of Guardian's Barrier to actually try to potentially steal it away. Will they get it?
Oh my god, Albert is able to steal that turtle away from the side of EVO Singapore. So what initially was a good setup, but wait a minute, that Wave of Dragon connects onto the member here, so we'll see what happens. It is going to be Albert here looking for a kill onto the backside. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as it is. JPL is able to retreat for now with his life, and there are no trades on the board except for RRQ Hoshi being able to take that objective away from EVOS.
Oh, you hate to see it, but it's not over yet, because it seems like a big dawning light comes in. They want to scare off RRQ, but from the sides, Clay, he finds a gear on the sides, and Adamir is not going to be able to do much. He flickers away, but this is a Lancelot we're talking about. He's got all the mobility he can get, and there's nothing they could have done, and EVOS SG, they're just getting crumbling to pieces in the hands of RRQ.
As I said, you saw Albert. He already picked up the Malefic Roar, right? I believe that's his 2nd item here, so he's obviously going to start cutting through these tanks, these tanky boys of EVOS SG. They've got the 4K gold lead already. It's 8 minutes in, and this is already the start of that snowballing potential for RRQ.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is exactly what RRQ wants when it comes to this early engagement. We talked about it during the key to success, and they're just controlling full tempo. Their 4K lead is not that much of a difference yet. It's still possible for EVOS SG to make a comeback, but it's going to be very, very difficult, because time and time again, Gear, he tries to open up the map a little bit more, but Vin is the biggest threat as of yet when it comes to those hooks, when it comes to those lockdowns and suppression. But now, up on screen, the damage dealt so far, Albert is just doing so much for the team. But hold that thought for now, EVOS SG is going to force a fight.
Yeah, I think Gear was a little bit too aggressive. They're all understanding that he does want to get Lemon out of the board, but unfortunately, the backup from the side of RRQ Hoshi was definitely there. We'll see how many times that can be baited out, because that is going to be a huge resource spent. But the Fatal Links connects, but unfortunately, the Dawning Light does as well. Albert is super low, is forced to retreat for now, as that is going to be JPL taken down for the price of none. RRQ Hoshi with the man advantage here, but oh my god, mega kill secured by Clay once again, as that Wave of Dragon connects onto Gear. Another pickup comes into play, but the suppression, the Bloody Hunt, it goes on to the engage, onto Sayla. 3 members taken down here for the side of RRQ Hoshi. Will it be a 4th? Unfortunately, the Iron Hook does not connect onto Adamir, but my oh my, RRQ Hoshi onto the next objective.
Oh my goodness, RRQ Hoshi, they're just winning on all fronts. They caught EVOS SG all by themselves. They took them all one by one. by one, and then eventually won on all fronts. EVOS SG, they seem to be scrambling, and there's just no way for them to actually take a fight unless Sayla gets some sort of a redemption point, because as of yet, he's level 9. And the timing for him to pop off is going to be so very far. As you can see, Albert is already level 13. We're almost reaching towards the end game power spike for RRQ Hoshi, whereas EVOS SG is still barely hanging on. So now, let's talk about a little bit more items on how much more that they need. Pay attention to this. Lemon is on his 4th item progression. He's got the Windtalker, he's got the Berserker's Fury, he's got the Scarlet Feather. He's critting really, really hard as compared to Sayla, who's only got the Clock of Destiny and the Lightning Trunket.
I mean, this is, again, the idea of let's have these tanky boys protect Adamir on this Clint. He's not getting a chance at all, really, to buy time, because look at the pace coming out from RRQ.
Yeah, look at the pace. It does seem like they want to be pushing onto something, understanding that the Lord is marching along in that top side. We'll see what happens here. EVO Singapore, they are on the defense. They are trying to be able to really clear this. They do have Sayla for that bit of range. Vin goes in for the Iron Hook. Unfortunately, does not connect, as Nick is trying to buy as much time as they can. But meanwhile, RRQ Hoshi, they are just taking those turrets one by one.
Yep, 10k lead for RRQ Hoshi. EVOS SG lose all their outer turrets. That means EVOS SG is in a position where they are forced to turtle up on base, whereas they need to find some sort of opportunity to punish RRQ's mistakes. But as of yet, it's so very difficult. R7, he's got the Shunpo. He's so annoying. He can't set up for a couple of kills. The hook comes in from Vin, completely isolates the fight. And EVOS SG, they can't even force a fight just because of how scary being separated from the team can be in all these fights.
Again, this is the strength of Franco, right? I feel like at this point, R7 hasn't had to do much. Neither has the Lemon. He's just been pretty much able to farm up. He gets a couple hits here and there, and that's why he's got those 4 assists. But this is a lot on Vin, right? When the guy gets a Franco, he finds those targets. I mean, early on, he had almost every Iron Hook he was landing, so they just have to follow up on that. Again, this is why Clay is having a good time as well on this Julian that, you know, you guys know that I don't really agree with as much in the mid lane, but when everything kind of falls into place, and on the other side, you have pretty much mostly tanks, you only have maybe 2 damage dealers over there, right? Sayla and Adamir, and they're so far behind right now. You're talking about 10.4k gold lead behind 12 minutes in.
Pay attention to the mini map right now. This is something that's super underrated. RRQ, they're not shoving wave. They're not doing anything. The reason being for this is that they want to freeze the lane and starve up EVOS SG before the next Lord Pit. And because of this, they're denied so much experience, so much economy to actually make some sort of comeback. And this is so smart of RRQ. It's super undervalued by every single team. But just being executed for RRQ just pulls it out. But as of yet, on the minimap, you can see as well, R7 is going to cut the reef to try and push the lane before the Lord Pit contest coming from EVOS SG.
This might be another kind of free take here. Now they're going to go in for this one.
Yeah, it might be this. We'll see what happens. I mean, right now we can see that JPL is looking for a kill on the board, but look at this. R7 in the backside is going to use that Way of Dragon onto Gear. Gear instantly gets melted down by the damage output coming in from RRQ Hoshi. 1 man strong, RRQ Hoshi, they are going to look for the engage onto this Lord, and it doesn't seem like EVO Singapore does have an answer towards this.
Oh, this is so very annoying to deal with, and that's going to be a free Lord in the hands of RRQ Hoshi. EVOS SG just cannot do anything at all. It's just so frustrating to play and see how disciplined RRQ Hoshi is doing to them. And I feel like this is a very tough spot, and they need to find ways for Sayla to get farm. He's now level 11. He's 4 more levels away. It's just taking a little bit too long for him to come online, and I don't think RRQ Hoshi is going to give them any sort of room, because now the Lord is pushing in. Even the lanes down mid until now has not been shoved by RRQ Hoshi towards EVOS SG's direction. That is starving them out not once. That was at least, what, 3-4 lanes of XP so far?
This is getting very grim for the side of EVOS SG. I mean, you're talking about, again, the gold lead is massive. They don't have much clear here, and that's why we see RQ pushing into the base pretty freely right now.
Look how aggressive R7 is in his positioning. He's looking for an engage, perhaps onto Sayla or maybe even onto Adamir. He doesn't find something just yet, as the Lord is already able to take down that inhibitor turret in that top side. The Lord does go down straight into the crystal, but it actually gets taken down quite easily, understanding that Sayla as well as Adamir is starting to reach those power spikes.
Oh, this is very difficult, but Sayla, he's just got his Divine Glaive. Looks like they are going to try and force the issue. this item pickup is huge for EVOS SG, but is it going to be enough? But as soon as that came out, you can saw all the reactions coming from RRQ. They back off. Okay, you know what? We don't know how strong Sayla is right now. Let's not take a risk. Let's play it safe for now and then live to play another day. This is just textbook plays coming from RRQ Hoshi. Despite 15k lead, they're still playing it safe. They don't want to make any sort of error right here, right now.
I mean, what they're respecting here is that Atlas and the Grok especially, right? Because we've seen it before. Clint just kind of have a bad early to mid game, and somehow if he's able to get items as they progress through the game and they stall out longer and longer, we know that a Xavier and a Clint can get to the point where they can actually start contesting. You throw in some lucky Fatal Link setups and even that wild charge from a Grok, there is potential there. And that's why I feel like they don't want to just nonchalantly push in the base and risk losing this type of lead, because they are showing just how disciplined they are. I mean, they're pretty much setting up for another Lord setup, pushing the base. They've got those 2 base turrets already. Why not wait a little bit longer?
Yep, 35 seconds left before this next Lord comes up, and EVOS SG not given any room to even push out the lane. Look at the positions coming from Vin and Clay. They're keeping tabs in case EVOS SG decides to push out the lane to gather some information. Wow, RRQ continues to swarm onto their side of the jungles to get economy instead of pushing out the lanes. This is just discipline. I would say starvation coming from RRQ. This is just,
I thought the spinning was discipline.
It's so hard. So very hard for EVOS SG, man.
Spinning on him. Just flexing on him right
Yeah,
now. R7,
yeah.
knows he can't be touched because, yeah, I mean, it's just JPL, right? Lord's going to be up here now. It's pretty much going to be started up by Lemon. And we'll see if anyone can actually get any vision around that area, because right now, EVOS SG has to pretty much stick together or just admit it. Like, hey, they're going to grab the Lord. Let's do our best to find a moment for a setup, but it's really going to depend on these tanky boys.
Nah, I don't think EVOS Singapore has it in them right now to be able to contest that one. They'll let that go pretty easily, and now RRQ Hoshi has that enhanced Lord in the bag. EVOS Singapore back on the defense. We do see a Berserker Fury here being taken for the side of Adamir. Is this a good power spike?
It's pretty good enough to actually clear off the minions, but hopefully it's going to be enough, because the biggest important factor right now is Sayla needs to survive. He's one more level away, and EVOS SG, the moment they get him online, they just need one really, really big chunky Fatal Links to completely wipe RRQ Hoshi, especially Lemon as well. If he gets the full combo from Sayla, he might be just as well as be dead. So that's going to be the safety net that RRQ Hoshi is going to be playing in safe. They want to continue with their initial lead, and hopefully it's going to work out. But as of that, the Dawning Light has been expended. This is going to be prime time for RRQ to actually close up the game.
Yeah, but look at JPL already concealed play coming through. Let's see if he can actually connect on this one, because Clay is in a very awkward position. The Enhanced Lord is already marching down in the mid side, doing the damage of it all. But look at this. Clay goes in onto Gear. He gets melted down. Initially, we can already see so much damage has been placed. He is forced to retreat yet again. But once again, RRQ Hoshi playing the discipline game. They don't want to risk it, understanding that they don't have any purifies on their table. So in case, just in case, EVOS Singapore finally gets that momentum going, they don't want to make that mistake.
Whew, I was sweating in that moment as well, but very, very smart plays of a defense coming from EVOS SG, especially with JPL, bought so much time for them to focus on Lord, and because of that, they're able to defend once again. Yes, Purify is going to be the matter as well, but let's take a look at the items real quick as well. Sayla is down to his final item progression, and you can see RRQ Hoshi, they are gonna be sweating, but as of now, you can see a little bit more confidence coming in from EVOS SG.
Uh-oh, JPL, is he going to go down? Oh my god, that item actually pops up, but he is going to be the first to fall. The hooks connects onto Nick, as it is going to be so much CC being placed. Adamir goes down. 3 members, 4 members. It is going to be 5, as it is going to be a maniac for Lemon. Finally, not an unofficial maniac, a wiped out has been placed for the side of RRQ Hoshi, and RRQ Hoshi, the kings of kings, the kings of the galaxy, they will be taking game number 1 against EVOS Singapore.
Oh, disciplined plays coming in from RRQ, just like that. You make one mistake, we are gonna close it out. And EVOS SG finally made it. And who could blame him? Who could blame him, man?
I thought there was like a glimmer of hope starting to rise from the eyes of EVOS SG here, but all it took was that mistake in the jungle. I mean, I feel like they started to feel it too, especially after that base defense there at the end. That showed that, hey, we can make this prolong a little bit longer.